Good morning. My name is Juan Carlos Nava. Good afternoon and good evening, depending on when are you looking at this video. In the past two videos, I have touched the subject of the main energy centers or chakras in our body. And that introduction was meant to illustrate the importance of those chakras, energy centers, as we consider energy healing, and a practice that is well known with over 100 years of success in the world, initiating in Japan, is Reiki. But it had come to my awareness that there are other healing techniques. And one of those that I have practiced with friends and relatives is the one that I found in this book by Shelley Carr called Edgar Cayce's Egyptian Energy Healing. In this process of healing, there are symbols, and those symbols will be associated with a specific conditions in our living experience. And as we practice this Egyptian healing technique, we simply imagine those symbols cascading down from our crown chakra all the way along the other chakra energy centers. And we declare that those symbols will be placed where they are most needed in order to accomplish the healing that you are intending to acquire. Remember, healing could be the physical body, healing could be a spiritual healing from mental conditions. Also, it could be healing of the impact of the timelines, past, present, and future. When we talk about the past lines, we are talking about the possibility of you having experienced life in previous reincarnations, and the consequence of that living experience may translate into your current incarnation. In this particular realm of spirituality, we believe in reincarnation as the process by which we evolve spiritually. The intent or the maximum achievement that you can get from this spiritual evolution is to become totally non-judgmental. And you acquire that blessed condition by simply realizing that we have been in the position of many other people or any other individuals that we may read about or hear through news or comments from friends or during our daily routine. Based on the concept of reincarnation, we generate what is called karma. And this karma is generated when we execute various positions. What do I mean by various positions? Well, sometimes we hear events that actually affect us in a negative way, like, for example, physical abuse. And in a physical abuse condition, there is a receiver of the abuse and a perpetrator of the abuse. Based on karma and reincarnation, we have experienced those life either as a victim or a victimizing individual. And it is important for us to simply realize through reincarnation the empathy that we need to develop for those individuals that had been in one or other position. It is also founded in the belief that we choose our experiences that we live in all these reincarnations. When we die, our body remain in this realm and decay, but our spirit continues a journey. And it is said that once we pass, we begin to reevaluate that experience of living. In that experience of living, we also create connections with other souls that becomes our karmic family. So when we reincarnate in this realm, we establish relationships that were preordained in our spiritual realm to play a role during our existence to allow us to learn the lessons that help us to evaluate and evolve to that condition of no judgment. I hope this information is not offensive to you. Still, energy healing can work from you and for you simply because of the awareness that as beings in the human form, we are pure energy. And we are pure energy because of the makeup of our planet and the makeup of our body. Remember that I mentioned that we are mimicking the composition of the world by saying that our body is about 70+% water, and water scientifically has been recognized as an electromagnetic fluid based on the form and type of model that is used to explain the bonding of the hydrogen and oxygen molecules to create that physical state of liquid water. Since the bonding that maintains these molecules together is dipole momentum body, there is a polarity plus minus that allows for hopping of electrons through our body. And this hopping of electrons creates a current that then transforms us into electromagnetic beings. The moment electrons flow, you create a current that is energy. So we are energy-based beings. And that is the basis of my explanation why energy healing works. In every energy healing approach that I am aware of, we always begin with the process of breathing. As human beings, for the functioning of our body, we don't only take care of the food that we intake and the environments to which we expose, but we also survive by being able to breathe oxygen from the air. So, breathing exercises allows us also to calm us down and allows us to put our mind into the process of the healing technique that is being used, isolating us from disturbing thoughts and relaxing our solar plexus. That's a big impact of breathing. When we breathe and you would like to calm ourselves, like for example, sometimes we experience anxieties, we breathe deeply, we hold it, and as long as the time in which we exhale that air that we has inhaled is longer than the holding time, that will calm your solar plexus. And it's going to bring you into a state very close to a trance. And then we capitalize in the use of our imagination, which is an extraordinary gift that has been given to us as part of being humans. Remember, the biggest separation between us and any other beautiful creation that walk on earth is to have the capacity of will. So that gives us the opportunity to choose. And we make choices in a continuous basis through our daily life as we incarnate as humans. Therefore, whenever we use an energy healing technique, part of the protocol is that you respect that power of will that your client, friend, colleague, relative have to accept or reject your offering. So we need to always execute these healing techniques with the knowledge and authorization of the will of the recipient. There are concepts, and those will be probably introduced by my sister Isabel through her blogs and her videos. There is a concept that we can, in the astral, that is, in the spiritual realm, where we as energy beings can tap and communicate with the energy of other beings that are known to us or introduced to us, we can ask that permission to execute that healing in the spiritual realm. And it is usually never denied because it's a communication from inner being to inner being. Remember, your inner being is that connection that we call soul and spirit. Soul is that spirit that is acquiring the experiences that we're living in this current incarnation, while a spirit is the collective of all our experiences and give us access to the wisdom of the universe, all the collective lessons that has been acquired through multiple life. So in the Egyptian energy healing was developed or published, make it public, by Shelley Kerr when she decided to evaluate Edgar Cayce's records. Edgar Cayce was known, or is still known, as the sleeping prophet, the American sleeping prophet. It is a very interesting life experience that has been recorded through his life and his descendants. And I do encourage, if this actually resonates with you, that you explore that further. So let me share with you the symbols that are used during the Egyptian energy healing process. This is not the right document. Let me go back. Choose it. It is usually keeps showing up that. Let me try a different way. Here it is. So in the Egyptian energy process, we have 11 symbols. We have the lantern or the lamp, which is associated with illumination. We have the beetle that represents the world. We have the cockerel that represents birth. We have the serpent that represents mind. And we have the hawk that represents wisdom, the cross that represents life, the crown that represents power, the gate or door which represents ascension, and the source which represents the way. So in the Egyptian healing system or process, what we do is beginning very similarly as when we do Reiki. When we do Reiki, remember that I told you, we begin by taking deep breath and imagine that the universal healing energy of Reiki is coming into our bodies as we inhale, either through the crown or and through the heart chakra, And then we push as we exhale that light into our solar plexus, where we transform it into a spherical shape. And as we breathe this energy, we simply nurture that sphere. You can assign it the color of yellow, which is the color corresponding to the solar plexus chakra. And once you are in that continuous harmonious breathing process, you request that energy to simply distribute and expand through your body to take care of all that cells in your body that require healing. In that process of expanding that energy into your body and nurturing the cells that need to be rejuvenation or heal, you need, in order to improve that process, an alignment of your chakras. And when we do Reiki, at least the way I practice Reiki, is simply assisting you in executing that process where we expand and we connect all the 7 major energy chakra systems, so that that energy, as we continue breathing it through the process of healing, can circulate, can transfer easily all along your interconnected chakras, so that allows us to then ground into Mother Earth. And the beauty of that grounding is that all that is in our bodies in those 3 realms, physical, mental, and timelines, get somehow, you can imagine it like that, wash away and transmuted at the center of Mother Gaia and send it back to us as purified light. So in that process, we are invoking that universal energy. We are processing our healing, and that healing is executed and transmuted, returning to us that pristine energy healing light back to source. Remember, that energy do not belong to us. That energy is infinite, is abundant, and it is for anybody to take it. So, in the process of the Egyptian energy healing, we begin with the breathing. I normally recommend to do 4 of those deep breaths. We inhale at the count of 3, we hold at the count of 6, and we exhale through our mouth at the count of 9. Remember, we always breathe through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. We are exhaling, I have asked you to please open your vocal cords and express, as you exhale through your mouth, that syllable that is considered angelic language. Ah. So that's a demonstration. We inhale at the count of 3, hold at the count of 6, and we exhale at the count of 9. Ah. Just as in Reiki, remember your imagination, which is a very powerful tool that the Creator has given us. Imagine the light, white, golden, blue, assign whichever color you resonate the best. Usually, that color will be associated with that chakra that requires particular attention, or you may choose to just recognize white light, which is the highest frequency of light and is resembling that of love. So once you have done your breathing exercise, you are now in that calm or trance state. You begin to imagine these symbols: the lantern, the beetle, the cockerel, the serpent, the hawk, the cross, the crown, the gate, and the swords, to slowly download through that channel of light, entering through your crown and slowly descending all along your chakras. And the symbol will reside in that part of your body that needs the most healing. You do that with each one of those. You imagine the lantern first. Remember the symbol. You can have the symbols in front of you. I have memorized them, but sometimes I just forget the sequence. So there is nothing wrong as you're doing this for yourself or for others, because this particular technique becomes very easy to execute and relatively fast as compared to Reiki when you're trying to do healing for somebody that is not in your presence. In this particular healing process, we don't require the touch of hands or the positioning of the hands in the different parts of our body corresponding to the chakras. In this case, we simply imagine those symbols cascading down slowly, and we imagine that they just go all the way through our spine, transmitting through all the chakras, and we declare that we free that symbol to go into the part of your body that requires healing. So you do that, which is one of the symbols. The next one will be the beetle. Remember, you still imagine the symbol of the beetle going down, entering through your crown chakra and descending slowly through each one of the chakras. And when you leave the crown chakra, you simply verbalize, go to wherever you are needed. Then comes the cockerel, then comes the serpent, then comes the hawk, the cross, the crown, the gate, and source. There are in total 9 symbols corresponding to this healing approach. Once you have allowed each one of these symbols to enter through your crown chakra and slowly descend through all the remaining chakras that are aligned along your spine in your body, you decide to place 2 lanterns, one on top of your crown and another one inverted on the palm of your feet. Once you have those 2 lamps, crown and feet, positioned mentally, then you imagine like there is a shower of that healing light flowing between these 2 lamps all along your physical body. And you can make this light as a beam of light from the top lantern to the lower lantern. And slowly you can begin, as you continue with your breathing, expanding that light until it's almost like a column of light that embodies your whole physical body. When you reach that condition, then you're going to imagine that beautiful column of light. Remember, for the light, you can choose white, yellow, gold. The suggestion by Dr. Kerr is to imagine preferentially the gold color, but it's your choice, white, yellow, or light. You're looking for high vibratory colors that has wavelength that increase the frequency of that energy. Once that light beam that is being circulated between the top lamp and the lower lamp takes that shape of a cylinder encompassing your body, you begin in your imagination a process of turning that column of light into a vortex that begins to rotate along your spine in the anti-clockwise position. Anti-clockwise position. Dr. Kerr, in her book, doesn't know why she has been prompted to share this technique with the anti-clockwise rotation of that energy that you have created, that column of light. But she hints that by doing the anti-clockwise rotation, you are restoring the condition of your body to the perfect state that existed at one particular time through the process of your spiritual evolution. To me, it makes sense in sense that I relate my physicality of my body to the meaning of the rotation of that light. You continue doing that and creating a vortex. Let it rotate. Keep on the breathing and keep that light between those two lanterns. Remember, there are times where we are asked to pray for somebody. I may not have shared this with you, but I don't believe that we have the right. Remember, the ethical code is to never interfere with the power of will of another individual. The conditions or situations that that individual is experiencing were of his own or her own choice. So that individual needs to work it out as an individual to clear whatever is causing that state of disruption in their life. However, what you can do is a form of prayer that doesn't violate that situation by simply in spirit calling the image of that individual allows you access to the energy field of that individual and request the permission of that inner being of that individual to do what we just did at the end of the healing cycle with the Egyptian method. You, after that permission, place on the top of the crown of that inner being a lamp and another lamp inverted right at the bottom of their feet. And imagine that flow of energy from top to bottom, expanded using your own breathing as a guidance into a column of light, and then create that vortex. That is the best way that you can help anybody to unlock or resolve a situation that is of their own creation. One thing that we need to do when we consider a spiritual awakening and awareness is to take responsibility that everything that we experience in this life was our choice. And that every experience that we go through has a purpose of teaching us a lesson. Rather than dwelling, why me, when you own the responsibility that was part of your agreement as you decided to reincarnate in this life, then allow yourself, that's a very important verb, the opportunity to resolve it and work it out. Because through those difficult junctions in life is when we tap in our inner awareness that we are powerful creators. We chose that experience, we created that experience, and we nurture that particular present that we're living. So it's our duty to undo what we have experienced by learning what that is teaching me. It's a continuous process of evolution. I am very glad that you have given me the opportunity to address you today again. I leave that to you, a very simple additional healing approach that requires the evolution of something that you already have, your capacity and ability to imagine. It is effective as the willingness of the recipient to receive it. Remember, we are simply facilitators. We are not healers. Whether you heal or not is your own choice. Yes, you can do it yourself. Absolutely. But I can guarantee you that when you surround yourself with other souls that have the same sense of awareness, that we have the ability to transform our lives by simply changing the way we think and the way we speak, by sharing this in community, it maximizes that powerful influence of that healing energy. That healing energy that you invoke during the Diksha energy healing approach is the same as the universal energy that you invoke in Reiki. It's the same source, is equally powerful. These are just simple modalities. As you may imagine, take your time to allow those symbols from the Egyptian process to follow slowly through your body, acknowledging their power and asking them to go wherever it is needed. Sometimes you don't know precisely what is the cause of the sentiments, emotions, or feelings that you are going through as you experience that particular situation in your life. I leave you as always in light. And we will talk again next week, where I will introduce light meditation, two light meditations that do have a connection to healing as well as it does to claim your sovereignty of who you are. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful remaining of your day. Be blessed, be glorious.